bold, be blessed, wear your faith, and help spread the gospel with Feathered Fetters apparel. This Christian lifestyle brand was founded on biblical principles and proclaimed the gospel through Christ-centered apparel. Visit featheredfettersapparel.com to shop our catalog of tees, hoodies, headwear, accessories, and more. Join us in spreading the gospel by becoming a brand ambassador today. What's up, world? It's Rod Kirby, the filmmaker here, and I'm hanging out with my friend Mars, which is a Memphis filmmaker as well. How's it going, Mars?
It's great. Living the dream.
Living the dream, living the life, living la vida loca, maybe.
Only a little bit. I'm only slightly crazy.
Well, I want to.
Though.
No, you look great. You look great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining me on the show today, everyone. We have a great show for you, as well as a great month. It is Women's History Month, so all month long we are celebrating and the accomplishments and honoring women in film. Mars, thank you again for joining me. Now, I met you. Actually, I don't think you remember this, but I met you actually last year at Indie Memphis. You had a film project that was in competition last year, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. My first film, so it was very exciting.
Yeah. I was awesome. I had a film in well, I wasn't in competition. Mine wasn't as cool as yours, but it was definitely in the film festival as well. But I'm working with you in the Indie Memphis Crew Up program, where we're mentoring young students around the city of Memphis, teaching filmmaking skills and giving them the opportunity to make their own film this year. How's that been going for you?
Really, really great. Like, I think I'm very excited to see what younger people end up doing in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these girls, they have fantastic ideas, and I'm just really excited to watch them bring it to light and like be in the background and be like, all right, hey, just this one thing. This is one thing.
Yeah, it's such a, first of all, I've never mentored before. Like, I feel like I've been a surrogate big brother to so many different people, but never really officially mentored. So this is my first year doing it, and it's been really awesome just to see these young people, growing and learning and actually applying the things that I'm teaching them, which is mind blowing. It's like I have knowledge that you can use, and you're actually using it. It's so cool.
And it's wild too when you're like, oh, you already know that. Cool. Right. You're way ahead of me when I was at that. Jeez.
Yeah, and they're teaching me as well, which is cool.
And that's always, when you have that give and take, that's always the most rewarding thing.
Yeah. So last year, what was your film project called that you entered into the Indie Memphis Film Festival?
It was called Watch.
It was called Watch. That's right. That was your first film, and it was a short film, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that journey like? I mean, it being your first film and being accepted into the Indie Memphis Film Festival, what was that journey like? Through writing it, production, and finally into the film festival.
So what is very funny is that I'd been wanting to do filmmaking for years, but just like that age-old problem of, oh, I just don't know where to start. And then a partner who's also like my DP and editor kind of told me, he's like, you just have to rip that Band-Aid off. And that's exactly what Watch was for me. But we also shot it during COVID.
Yeah.
So had a very minimal crew, like maybe 4 people at mask, all wore a mask. And I worked with one actress. So it was kind of like a great starting point because it was one location, one actress, kind of a just clean 5 minutes. And I mean, the moment I started doing it, I was like, all right, what's next? What can I do next? And that's kind of what ended up happening with Mosaic. Like, the whole Mosaic story is a little bit more, and I know we'll get to that, but it was very, very exciting to be accepted into the festival, especially it being my first one.
Right.
But I still will never, this is going to stay with me forever. Sitting in the audience at Crosstown Concourse Theater and like hearing people around me react to my film, because it's horror, so I'm just hearing like small gasps from the audience, like, I did that, cool. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I love horror movies.
I do too.
That's kind of what I'm wanting to do, but Mosaic is not a horror movie.
Well, let's talk about it. What is your new project? Your latest project is called Mosaic. What is it, and what brought about the inspiration for the film?
So this is gonna get a little heavy.
Okay.
What ended up bringing, like, so I finished Watch in October, and then in November, right after that, my roommate ended up dying.
Oh, wow.
And I was the unfortunate one to find her body, and I was kind of sitting with that grief for a little bit, and then I realized, I was like, I kind of want to translate this somehow, like what it feels like. I want to translate that. So I ended up creating this story just about a guy who had a similar issue, finding his friend. But I wanted to paint it in the guise that, you know, I think oftentimes men are told not to express their emotions. So, you know, and I wanted to be able to not only show that, but kind of convey what that kind of trauma feels like.
Yeah.
So it's a little heavy, but it was a very cathartic process.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was just kind of like, I'm making this thing, it's making me feel better. Oh God, I'm finally done with it.
Yeah. And I want everyone to understand that you know, Mars is an artist. So you draw, you doodle, you know, you paint. So and I do a little drawing too. I don't claim to be an artist, but you know, art in general is cathartic and very healing, and it doesn't matter what kind of art you do. For the artist, it can be a great release. So you translating that into film is, you know, that's just your innate nature, and that clicked with you, which is awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, filmmaking has definitely been one of those things that I'm like, you know, I've wanted to try every single art form I can get my hands on, but filmmaking is definitely one of those that I think has inspired me the most.
Yeah.
Plus, I freaking love movies, so it's kind of a little bit of a, it's nice because it's like, oh, cool, now I know how this movie's made.
Right. Yeah.
I know how the movie's made, so I can't live in the illusion anymore.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer for Mosaic, your latest project, and then we'll come back and talk about it. So this is the trailer for your new film, Mosaic. Let's take a look. Wow, that's awesome. I absolutely love the cinematography of that film. Looks awesome. Who shot it? Did you shoot it, or you worked with another cinematographer?
So well, it's funny because I built I built a lot of those shots. So it was kind of like hey, this is what I want this scene to look like the underpass.
Yeah.
That was straight up like, I drew the idea. I'm like, this is what I want. I do have a cinematographer. His name is Mitchell Carter. He's also my partner. He's also in the Crew Up program too.
Oh, nice. Mitchell.
Yeah. So I like working with him because he understands me and my vision enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna paint this picture in your head for you. Can you translate that? Like, can you So
Yeah,
definitely.
what struck me with just the trailer was not only the cinematography but the composition. So it looks like, and kind of piggyback on what you just said, it looks like it was all deliberate as far as your shots and everything, which is great. So I loved it. You're gonna have a winner on your hands here.
I'm a huge I am a huge composition nerd. Like I specifically have to be like, all right, we have to have the lines centered up here, making
Yeah,
this. So yeah, no, all of that was very intentional.
that's awesome. What's your process? Let's start from writing first, and then let's move into actual production. What was your writing process on Mosaic? And I mean, do you just go to the page and start writing, or do you outline? Do you do a treatment? How do you start?
Well, so the past few projects that I've like written,
Hmm.
how it starts out for me, it might be a random visual
Hmm.
that comes to my brain, and I think sometimes I can piece stuff together from that visual that's been created.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what my visual was for this one, but I knew that I was also kind of dealing with my grief, and
Hmm.
I I just wanted to sit down and put it somewhere.
Right.
And like there were so many different, like I had my first draft, and I remember I wanted to do the ending completely different. And
Hmm.
Mitchell had told me, he was like, what if you tried this?
Mm.
And it ended up inspiring me. And so typically in the writing process, I always, I'll do my thing, but I always like getting other eyes on it
Right.
because they could have an idea I hadn't even thought of.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, but because I am my own writer, director, and producer, it's so much work. But
Yeah,
so
it
I
is.
had to cast, I had to find locations,
Yeah.
which was indie projects.
Yep.
Um, but there was a lot of, like, I ended up writing it January or February of last year.
Hmm.
And then we started to like get casting, and my actor, like, I'm like, I will never forget receiving his audition tape because I'd given him like maybe one or two notes.
Yeah.
Sends in his audition tape, and it was incredible. I was like, you did exactly what I'm saying. Oh my God.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Oh yeah. Um, and then, we it's funny because we filmed it. God, I feel like we filmed it partially in October. So we had a
Hmm.
little bit of a, you know, dragging our feet a bit. It's taken a year to make it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole process has been really, I've, so like the reason I did start making my own films is because I wanted to get experience somehow, and I couldn't
Uh-huh.
find other people's sets. So I'll just make my own. And I'm still learning the process. So doing
Yeah.
something like Mosaic was extremely rewarding because not only was it cathartic, but it was also an incredible learning experience.
Yeah. Did the film Hereditary inspire you at all, or did you get? I know you saw it. I know you've seen it. I mean, because Mosaic kind of looks a lot like Hereditary, and if folks that are watching, if you haven't seen it, Hereditary, first of all, is a horror film, and it messed me up psychologically. Okay, so
Mm.
I've only seen it once.
All I'm gonna do is that scene. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I took my wife to see it, and she hates me to this day. It was
no,
it was good. I mean,
I
it's a
went to see that movie
great,
three
but
times in the theater.
oh my
I
god.
so Ari Aster is somebody who I definitely like his style a lot.
Hmm.
Um, and it's funny too because like one of his inspirations is, I don't remember the director's name, but The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover.
Oh, okay.
And so I love that you mentioned Hereditary because it's something that Ari Aster does that I really, really like is how meticulous he is. So
Yeah,
there's so much detail packed into that movie
yeah,
that, like, I could watch this three separate times and still learn new things.
yeah.
And I've even realized it's kind of cool watching Mosaic that some of the things, I'm gonna say they're intentional, but there were like happy accidents that it's like, oh wow, that's really cool. But Hereditary is definitely one of my, honestly, probably one of my top 10 of the past few years. It's has my heart.
Yeah, and going back to Ari Aster, because that dude, I just saw Midsommar not too long ago, and it's a horror film in the daytime, and it's like, who does that? But it's so good, and it's so detailed, and you can watch it 3 or 4 times and see different little things happening, or you can see the whole plot being spoiled in front of you in the background, and you're not even knowing it. It's so cool. But
he does it in Hereditary too, like,
yeah.
And that's, I love his utilization of foreshadowing, like but I've only seen Midsommar twice, and I'm waiting to watch it again when I can get my hands on the director's cut. That's like the only way I want to watch it again.
And I'm waiting on Miss Kimberly Kirby to watch it with me. I know she's so mad at me for showing her Hereditary, but I promise Midsommar is not as bad or as creepy. I mean, it's creepy, but it's not as, it's still crazy, but
come on.
Yeah,
head trauma warnings.
Exactly. So with production, what was the most challenging aspect of producing Mosaic? I mean, what kind of pitfalls did you encounter? Were there any production delays? Were there any supply issues? Anything going on with your actors? What happened with production on Mosaic?
No, I mean, it went pretty smoothly overall. It just ended up stretching out like this, like with scheduling, like trying to get everybody to work together, getting, like, that's my least favorite thing about being a producer is scheduling, and that's most of them.
Yeah.
But I think collectively with the whole process, we didn't really run into too many issues. I mean, like, I was very grateful it went so smoothly. Like, something that I'm very fortunate of is that sorry, I have made a point to surround myself with a team that is, all of them are very passionate about what they do, and I think we're all kind of friends, so we get each other's stuff. So actually, I do have one thing, and this was a learning experience for me as a director. I love practical effects, but sometimes they don't work. And we had to film the tent scene, and I wanted to use an actual kerosene lamp. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to break the illusion, but we we filmed that whole scene in a garage. Basically.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which, it's not depicted in the trailer, so you'll be pleasantly surprised when you do see it. But the garage was closed, and everybody was getting high on the kerosene fumes. And like, all right. And Mitchell was like, "Hey, this is too dark. We can't use this."
Yeah.
Like, but I want it.
Right.
We did end up figuring it out, but it just meant like, oh crap, we wasted a day. We wasted our actor's time.
Yeah.
Now we get to do this again. But thankfully we came back. We were more prepared, and we got it. It was incredible.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, so look, I gotta come back to Mitchell real quick. I mean, he's your partner, and you two are two artists, working and living together. And what's that like? I mean, just having such a creative person on your team that also gets you and affectionately and understands you holistically along with your art. What's that like?
I've always I really admire his craft as well, because seeing his eye on things is, I don't know, it's a really cool experience. Like, I just I like to be able to observe somebody as they create too, and as I'm creating as well. And I think that dynamic really works in a film setting because we're both playing off of each other in that moment. And it's, I don't know, I mean, sometimes it can be a lot, but overall it's a pretty cool experience.
And you know what? I'm going to answer for Kimberly Kirby, who's also watching right now. It's a pretty cool experience for her as well, because she gets all of my services for free. She's an author, and she's also a filmmaker when she wants to be. And I help her with camera stuff, and I help her with her book stuff. And but it's cool just having another creative person, in your circle, on your inner circle, that
Yeah.
just truly understands you, understands what your goals are in life, understands where you're trying to go, and are also always able and willing to help. So it's if you can have someone, for anyone watching, if you can have anyone on your team, make sure it's someone that you trust, that is someone that cares for you as well as your art. Because I mean, there's just no limits to where that can go and where that can take you.
I mean, it's wild too, because I mean, we were basically all. I was wearing at least 8 different hats in production. He was wearing 8 different hats, and then my sound guy is also one of the actors. So, but everybody just, again, everybody just did such a good job, and I'm like, if anything, yes, I'm excited to show everybody this, because we all made this thing together. But I'm just really excited. I mean, I know filmmakers will get this through, like, oh, that's cinematography. This sounds really good.
Yeah.
But I think more than anything, I want to broadcast my team, just because just everybody was so on point.
Right.
And even like I'm most excited for people to see what my actor can do, because he did an incredible job. I'm so proud of him. I just,
And that's really what filmmaking is all about. It's not being wearing the director's hat and saying I'm in charge. It's really about the team. It's really, you're kind of running a restaurant in a way. It doesn't work with one person. It works with the team and team only. So that's one thing I love about making movies and writing and producing is the person next to you. They get to show off their talents if they're talented, if you got the right people, and you get to show off your talent as well, and you come together and you make a thing, and that thing really moves audiences. And it's nothing. There's nothing like it.
And that is honestly one of my favorite things about filmmaking. Like I love collaborating with people, and I think more than anything, like kind of what you were saying about like being around a talented person who's doing their thing. Oftentimes in this project, it's like, all right, I have a general idea of what I want, but I'm going to let you do your thing. And if I don't like it, I'll let you know. But I want people to be able to creatively express themselves in a place where they feel like they can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to remind everyone that I'm talking to Memphis-based filmmaker Mars McKay. If you have any questions, just drop them out in the chat. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter as well as Facebook. Have any questions for Mars, please just chime in. And your film Mosaic is having its live premiere at Black Lodge in Memphis, Tennessee. I believe that is March 24th. So definitely come out and get your tickets. I'll be there to see this very impressive film, and really looking forward to it as well. Mars, what's your? I know you're just kind of getting into the groove of filmmaking and all that, and translating your art into a different art form. But what kind of tips would you give other filmmakers that maybe they have a film idea and they want to step out there and they're not really sure how to get started? What tips or advice would you give them?
I mean, honestly, it was funny because at Indie Memphis, I met at least 2 to 3 different people who were like, oh, I want to make a film, but I don't know how to. And it's like, you just got to do it. I mean, like, I can be a person that is like, hey, I could connect you with this person. They're a cinematographer. They'll help you. But mostly it's just trying to get to know the community. Just go to events, trying to talk with people. I know that Indie Memphis occasionally does those. They did a meet and greet shoot and splice.
Yeah.
Basically allowing people to get together and meet. But honestly, I'll say the thing that I've had directors tell me or filmmakers tell me before I started, you just got to do it. You just got to rip that Band-Aid off.
Just got to get into it. That's right.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's if it's something you love, it's like getting bit by that bug that's like, oh, I have to do this for the rest of my life. Oh my God.
Right.
And it's cool.
Yep, absolutely. And I think we got our first question from Kathy Lopton. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? It says, did you go to school for film, Mars?
No, actually. I go to a local space called Black Lodge, and that is my film school. It's basically a video rental library. And it's like Blockbuster, but if Blockbuster had eclectic taste.
And way cooler, yes.
Way cooler. And I've basically taken, like, I've basically studied movies that I'm interested in. And I've jumped all over. I go to foreign films, I go to older movies. And I mean, I'm also under the impression that I think college is kind of a waste of money at this point, because you can learn so much just by doing and experiencing.
Right.
No schooling, self-taught.
Yeah, and for everyone watching, one of my favorite filmmakers, Quentin Tarantino, he started his career working in a video rental store as well.
Wrote Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, and that's where he wrote Reservoir Dogs, his first film. He just being a student and a fan of films, watching movies, learning from what was on screen, and applying that to his own craft. That's how you get started in making movies. I mean, even if you're an actress or actor and you want to get into movies, well, why not make your own and start filming it? If you have a phone such as this here, you have a camera, and you have sound. Just record it. Just get it going. Yeah. I think I've
seen a lot of really cool creative stuff on TikTok just for that reason,
I mean, there's really no barrier to entry nowadays. I mean, we've got social media, we have mobile phones that are increasingly, have better cameras, better sound quality. I mean, it's really just up to you and what you want to do and putting that vision out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
We have another question from Lakeish. Hey, Lakeish, said, where can we purchase tickets? You can purchase tickets at Black Lodge. It's in Memphis, Tennessee. And on the 24th, you come on down and you pay $5 to get in, and you can watch the movie and hang out with Mars, myself, and other film fans as well.
And I will clarify, doors are going to be at 7, and the show is, I mean, it's Memphis. I don't know if it's going to start right at 7:30.
Right. It is Memphis time.
Memphis time, yeah.
I'm
hoping to run a smooth ship that day. So, yeah. But tickets at the door. So
yes, tickets at the door. Kathy, what'd you say? It says, love it. I too learned by osmosis.
Oh man, yeah, Black Lodge I also worked there. So if you ever want to get something from the cafe, just hit me up and I'll cook you something real good or recommend you a movie.
I believe Black Lodge is starting a new menu starting this weekend, or restarting the kitchen. Yeah. Yes. And
they just opened it up.
Yeah, and for other, for people that are watching, Black Lodge is just a great creative place to hang out, not just for rental movies, but it's an event space as well. Definitely highly recommend, if you're creative, if you're into film, if you're into music, whatever it is, head on down to Black Lodge, just hang out. They got cool stuff. Yeah, so what are you working on next, Mars?
So I'm actually, Kirby, do you know Josh Woodcock?
Sounds familiar. I'm sure I know his face if I saw it.
He also had a film in the last Indie Memphis, the one with the man and the dog.
Oh, that one, yes, yeah. I like that one, yeah.
So two projects. These are not really like. One is going to be possibly a horror anthology feature.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We're still in developmental point, so we're still meeting to talk about ideas and stuff.
Okay.
Nothing is solidified yet, but I'm also producing and co-writing a student film. I'm helping somebody from Rhodes make a film that it's definitely very experimental, and I'm really excited to help with it. But I think what's next for me is that I want to make a horror movie again so bad. Like I just
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Mosaic, I almost made it horror, but I knew that I wanted to tell that story as plainly as I could with grief.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanna make a horror movie next. I wanna be the I wanna make a movie monster and just be like, all right, you guys, I'm gonna be co-directing and starring in this movie as a movie monster.
Nice. Well, shoot, if you need help, I'll be your movie monster as well, or I could be, in the shadows with a knife or something cool. Yeah, count me in on that. That's cool. For everyone that is watching and listening right now, I want to thank you all for watching the Brock Kirby Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Coming up next, if you are ready, Mars McKay, since it is Women's History Month, we're going to play a little trivia game and test your knowledge. Dun, 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 dun.
This is going to go so horribly.
I don't have sound effects because we're poor and we're a very small show. So I'm just going to make it with my mouth. Cue up the Women in Film trivia. There you go. So it is Women's History Month. We are celebrating and honoring the accomplishments of women all month long. So we have Women in Film trivia. Mars, are you ready for your first question? And before we get started, everyone that's watching, please join in, answer the questions as well, because if you're cool, and I know someone out there is cool, and I know you're cool, you can get hooked up with a little bit of merch. Let's roll that merch graph. Yes, we have a Rod Kirby Show mug, and we have a Right Shoot Edit Repeat shirt that is up for grabs tonight for anyone that gets if I deem that you're cool enough to get that. That's right, you gotta be cool. Be cool, so stick around.
If I answer one right, can I get a shirt?
You're going to get a shirt anyway. You're a special guest on the show. You're getting a shirt anyway, regardless, automatically. You're cool. You're cool. Everyone watching, you got to prove that you're cool with trivia knowledge. So here we go. Here's the first question. Number one, which Jennifer Lopez movie debuted at #1 at the box office the same week that her J-Lo album debuted at #1 on the charts?
God. I'm trying to think J-Lo movies.
Let me give you some. I'm gonna give you multiple choice on that one. Actually, multiple choice on all of them. So, is it The Wedding Planner? Was it Monster-in-Law? Was it Made in Manhattan or Selena? The Wedding Planner, Monster-in-Law, Made in Manhattan, or Selena? Which movie?
I'm gonna. Can I answer?
Yeah. Go right ahead.
I'm gonna go with Selena.
So you say Selena. World, what do you say? Let's see. Anybody got an answer out there?
I'm going to be embarrassed if I get this wrong.
Let's see. Adrian thinks it's Selena. Okay, right. Thinks it's Selena. Well, the answer is The Wedding Planner. Oh.
Hey, good for her, though. Good for her.
Yeah, they made $95 million at the box office. Can you believe that? The Wedding Planner?
It made
$95 million.
Well, what was the budget? Did they at least get a turnover on it?
I don't know. But you know what? That was the good old days when you had that mid-range, mid-budget romantic comedies were at the theaters when they could make money. But now it's all like blockbusters and superhero films, so they don't do those anymore. They put those directly to streaming nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to question number 2. Which West Side Story actress has earned an EGOT? EGOT stands for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Which West Side Story actress won that? Is that Rachel Zegler, Natalie Wood, Maddie Ziegler, or Rita Moreno? And I'll give everyone out there a hint. It is not the latest West Side Story. It is the original West Side Story, not Steven Spielberg's new one that's on things on Disney Plus or HBO Max is one of those now. The original West Side Story, this actress won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
I'm gonna go with the first option. I can't remember exactly the name. Ziegler,
Rachel Zegler.
Zegler, yeah.
And Rachel Zegler. Yes. And Kimberly Kirby says Rita Moreno. Okay.
I've never seen the original West Side Story, so I'm just like, I don't know.
The answer, please. It is Rita Moreno. Kimberly Kirby, you sly person. How'd you read my mind? Yeah, Kathy, you got it too. Good job. That's right. Good old original 1962 West Side Story, not the new one.
I feel like this is, like, are you smarter than a fifth grader, but with filmmakers? Are you smarter than a filmmaker?
I tell you what, I may not be smarter than fifth grader, but I know filmmaking. Okay, anyway, who was the first female director to win an Oscar? The very first female director to win an Oscar. Is it Catherine Bigelow? Was it Greta Gerwig, Jane Campion, or Chloe Zhao? Catherine Bigelow, Greta Gerwig, Jane Campion, or Chloe Zhao?
Catherine Bigelow.
Okay, you say Catherine Bigelow. What do you say, world? Who do we think?
I mean, I know all of those actors or those directors, and I love their work, but I know Catherine Bigelow's done some pretty good stuff.
Let's see. Kimberly Kirby, what do you say? You said Catherine Bigelow. Answer is Catherine Bigelow. That's right. She won an Oscar for the Hurt Locker in 2010. That is correct. Good job. Good job. Did you see the Hurt Locker? I love that movie.
No, so she didn't also do Jarhead, did she?
No, she didn't do Jarhead, but she did do Zero Dark 30.
And I've seen some of the cinematography for that movie.
Yeah.
I have not seen Hurt Locker though.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's got two of the Avengers people in there. It's Anthony Mackie and the guy that plays Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, they're in there.
Yeah. Oh, it's one. I have that ongoing movie list that just keep getting added to it, and I never watch anything.
Yeah, it's I got the same problem, but it's a gaming backlog, so that's my thing. Games and movies.
So I am with books and movies.
Yes. So which actress starred in 3 of the top grossing movies of all time? This actress starred in 3 of the top grossing movies of all time. Is it Zoe Saldana, Angelina Jolie, Julia Roberts, or Elizabeth Banks?
Man, I was real gonna. If you had said Meryl Streep, I was just gonna be like that one.
Meryl Streep is close, but she's not in this category. This person was in all 3 of the top grossing movies of all time.
All time? Can you repeat the actresses?
Zoe Saldana, Angelina Jolie, Julia Roberts, or Elizabeth Banks?
I'm torn between the first two. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie. Interesting.
My second answer is Zoe Saldana, and I probably got both of those wrong.
Kimberly said Zoe Saldana. Okay. Well, let's see that answer there. Oh, Zoe Saldana. She started in Avatar, and she was in both of the Avengers movies. Infinity War and Endgame.
I was trying to think about that because, I forgot about Avatar, but I knew that I was like, Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy were both pretty big movies. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they were big, but the Avengers movies made $2 billion at the box office. Avatar made $2 billion in the box office.
Disney was right to buy them. They're probably Disney scares me.
Disney scares everybody. You know what? Sidebar. You wouldn't believe the tentacles that Disney has their hands in. I mean, they're in everything. That's film, entertainment. It's really crazy. I mean, I don't know if people know that. A lot of people know this, but they own Hulu. I mean, they're the majority shareholders in Hulu. Which is crazy because you don't associate Hulu with Disney, but they have Hulu. They have movies and sports tied into Hulu. It's crazy.
What if Disney is running what if Disney is running our lives?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Disney and Facebook had a baby and its name was Skynet and it was running our lives in the background. We didn't know about it.
Honestly, that's probably exactly what's happening.
Right? Next question. Which Penny Marshall film was the first movie directed by a woman to gross over 100 million at the box office? And before I give you these answers, let me say one thing. Kimberly Kirby, if you're watching, get off Google. No Google. Because I know that's how you're doing that. No Google. But yes, which Penny Marshall film was the first movie directed by a woman to make over 100 million at the box office? Was it A League of Their Own, which I love that movie? Was it Big? Was it Bewitched? Or was it Awakenings? So you got A League of Their Own.
I think I'm gonna go with A League of Their Own. Yeah.
Which was one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's got Rosie O'Donnell in there and
Davis.
Tom Hanks. Yep. What do you say, world? What do we got? League of Their Own, Big, Bewitched, or Awakenings? I know Kimberly Kirby's probably on Google right now looking it up, trying to type as fast as she can. But I'm not going to give you the chance. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. Answer is Big. That's right. Big made 151 million at the box office.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big movie.
It was a big movie. Yes, it was.
Oh, I never know. I wonder, anytime I hear like box office grossings, I'm like, okay, how much was the budget though? Like, were they able to, was this good or bad that they made this much money?
Look at this lady right here. Kimberly Kirby, you evil person, you. Watching you like a hawk, lady. Next question, please. Which female actress won the most Oscars ever? This person has won the most Oscars in history. Is it Katharine Hepburn? Is it Meryl Streep? You mentioned Meryl Streep before. Is it Judy Garland? Or is it Halle Berry?
I'm gonna slam that button on Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep for the win. Is it Meryl Streep?
I'm looking. There it is.
Katharine Hepburn. She's got 4 Oscars. No other female actress has 4 Oscars other than Katharine Hepburn.
How many does Meryl Streep have?
In my mind, 10. Because Meryl Streep is the business. Okay. What was it? Devil Wears Prada. Amazing. Name another Meryl Streep.
Don't Look Up? Did you see her in Don't Look Up?
Yeah, she was.
Her character was so funny, scary.
So great. Yeah, she was so great in that. But yeah, Meryl Streep is like the GOAT of actresses. Okay, last question. Who is the highest paid actress in Hollywood in 2021? Highest paid actress. Is it Emily Blunt? Is it Angelina Jolie? What about Sofia Vergara or Viola Davis? Highest paid actress last year, Emily Blunt, Angelina Jolie, Sofia Vergara, or Viola Davis.
Part of me wants to say Angelina Jolie again, but I feel like it's the third one. But again, I like living in this ambiguity because it's like, it won't hurt as bad if I get this wrong. If I'm like, oh, at least I made a guess.
Well, Adrian thinks it's Viola Davis.
Which I could see that too. Yeah. All of these women deserve to get paid so much money.
Absolutely. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Answer is Sofia Vergara's net worth is north of $180 million. That is 178 or 79,100,000 something more than I got. So
that's what I was saying. I'm like, it could be Angelina Jolie, but I'm pretty sure it's Sofia Vergara.
I mean, this lady worked her butt off. She was on what's that show? Modern Family. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was on Modern Family and a couple other shows. She's just great. She's a great actress. Yeah. Well, that was Women's History Month, Women in Film Trivia. Thank you so much for playing. Mars, I want you to pick a winner for tonight's prize. We have Monique Clark. We have Adrian Mitchell Clark. There's Kimberly Kirby. She is exempt. She can never win a prize. I would not allow that on this show. So sorry, Kimberly. We have Kathy O'Lofton. Thank you all for playing. Mars, who is our lucky winner for tonight?
Oh man. Oh God. Because I didn't see, because I saw some people commenting, but I didn't remember their names.
You got Monique, Adrian, and Kathy.
I'm gonna go with Monique.
Monique
It's
Clark.
so great, Monique.
Monique. Hey, Monique. You just won yourself a t-shirt or a mug. I'll contact you later to find out which one you want. Don't worry, it will cost less than $10 on my part because I'm cheap, but you will get it in the mail. Ha ha ha. I'm just kidding. No, you can pick anything you want. Go to our shop. Let's put up that shop graphic there. It's www.rodkirby.shop. That is the collection of clothing there. You've got lots of t-shirts and hoodies and other stuff that you can purchase for real money, not fake money, because your real money goes towards helping me produce more stuff and supports the show here. So I definitely want you all to visit the shop and spend that refund check. I know y'all got it in recently, so don't play with it. Spend it.
I definitely love that shirt. The write, shoot, edit, repeat. I love that. That's so great.
Thank you very much. I'll be sending that to you as well. As a matter of fact, I'll just bring it to the premiere. How about that? Boom.
Cool.
Hashtag boom. And I hope to see everyone there at the premiere of Mosaic. It is happening at Black Lodge on the 24th in Memphis, Tennessee. If you're not in Memphis, come hang out. I mean, if you're in Nashville, come hang out. It's only a 3-hour drive. Arkansas, depending on where you are, 1-hour drive, whatever. So come hang out with us. Mars, thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Of course. It was a pleasure talking.
Absolutely. Appreciate you so much. Before we get out of here, coming up this month on the Rod Kirby Show, we've got a slew of great guests. Of course, Mars was our first guest. We also have Miss Faiza Hansania. Hope I said her name correctly. She is a professional hair and makeup artist. She's really a celebrity makeup artist. We also have Paige Fieldman, who's a writer-director, and Vicky Adams, who is a senior director of acquisitions for Mans Mackey Studios. That's the studio that produced Redeemed, that Christian film that hit really big. It was on BET, some other stuff. So really looking forward to talking to these ladies later on in the month. So please subscribe or like and follow us on Facebook, The Rod Kirby Show. You can connect with me on rodkirby.com. And yeah, that is pretty much our show, everyone. Thank you so much. Mars, again, thank you for everyone for watching. Have a great weekend. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Peace out.